His latest book is really good. Face Down, Ass Up.
You could get us in trouble.
For you newer folks, that's an old poll. So it's James Thompson. Hello, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is the Dan and Can Show. I'll edit in some fireworks there. You know what I mean? Let me get the mark here. All right, 30 seconds. Fireworks.
He's very, compliment his editing that he's learning. Yes, he's new, but he's learning. Okay.
He
needs some bravo. Good job, babe.
I'm not a child that needs constant adoration.
Okay, adults need it sometimes too. Okay, not just children.
Speaking out my editing process. So now I won't put the fireworks in.
No, put them in there. Now you have to.
My jazz hands.
Oh, if you don't do it, it's because you can't figure out how to do it.
Don't try to gaslight me.
Oh, I'm going to gaslight you.
Oh, she's in a mood. So, you know what that means? I'll probably say something and end up on the couch again tonight. So we should call this How Dan Ends Up on the Couch Show.
Every night. Just kidding. He's never slept on the couch, and I've said that several times on this podcast. Not once has he ever slept on the couch due to us being in a fight. I'm not saying it's never happened. I don't know. I can't think of a time, but COVID,
when you
didn't sleep on the couch. You had to go in the bedroom. I had to sleep on the couch, buddy.
When you had COVID.
Oh, when I had COVID.
Oh,
yeah. That was awful.
Oh, that was awful. When you had it, it was fine. Air conditioning was out. You had 110-degree fever.
You had your own little mini air conditioner. We suffered at night. We had fans blowing on us. Yes, we got to go out in the pool during the day.
Right outside the window I was sleeping in, trying to sleep while I slept. Anywho.
Sorry.
So, having another fun-filled week here, dealing with all sorts of interesting things. So, if one of us seems a little chippy.
Which one are you implying it would be?
Me. It's been just an excellent week. Storms came through. All right, so this is 2 years in a row this has happened now. Mm-hmm. Last year it was July 31st. A big thunderstorm moved through, knocked out power in our town. And that one took, I think it was 44 hours until we got power back. This last weekend, I got to work and it started sprinkling a little bit, and I'm looking outside, and then all of a sudden the storm came in, and 90-mile-an-hour winds and raining sideways, and the power went off at work, and I called Candy, and she's like, "Yeah, it's out here," and that was
Saturday morning around 5:30 a.m.
And we got power back Sunday
about 2, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, and I got called in to mandatory show up for work.
We went and stayed at our kid's apartment.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. It was like a little sleepover.
Yeah, until I got the call at 9:30 at night saying, "You got to come in tomorrow morning and clean up trees."
Yeah.
It's mandatory. And then I found out later it wasn't mandatory for everybody.
He's a little bit bitter about this.
So, yes, I'm the bitter one.
Yeah.
This week. Candy's just been rainbows and sunshine all week.
I haven't been bitter.
No.
I have been betrayed. But that's not something I really want to talk about here. But it's just family crap, right?
If you want to know, go back about 3-4 episodes and you'll, not the details, but we talked about dealing with family bullshit. So, but tonight, it's going to be, you remember when you were out chasing them goals, them dreams that you had, and you're pursuing it, and then that voice of the ghost of your youth pastor whispers in your ear and says, "That seems a little worldly." That's kind of what we're going to get into tonight. So, But before that, we got to get to know each other a little bit. Well, we know each other so well.
Do we though? Let's see.
We have to share.
We need to learn new things still. There's still new things. There's depths. We're like onions. There's layers.
Yeah. Our kids say one of our other kids smells like onions.
BO has a distinct smell on everybody. My BO smells like onions, I feel like.
Chicken noodle soup.
No.
When I was in grade school. Anyways, would you rather, Candy, would you rather have your entire financial history read aloud by your old church treasurer?
My entire what history?
Financial history.
Okay. Right aloud in front of the church. Okay.
By your treasurer.
By the treasurer?
The
I don't care who reads
officer.
it.
So, or have to do a motivational TED talk on money and success, but your audience is every judgmental Karen from your church that you've ever known.
I'd do the TED talk. I'd 10 toes down in front of those ladies.
You are full of piss and vinegar tonight, aren't you? That really shows that answer. Yeah, probably. Even though I don't like speaking in public a whole lot, I would rather do that than have somebody
Schmuck.
that I know. For some reason, anyone that's an officer at a church, I have a little trepidation with. They don't seem like to be honest.
You don't trust them?
Especially the financial people.
I wonder why.
Yeah. You have the one across the street that would be like, hey, you got the gift of giving, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a special place for you around here.
But then fast forward 15 years, 20 years, and he's like, hey, we need to talk about you guys parking in our parking lot when nobody's using it and it's just an empty space. I think this deal isn't working out for us.
Yeah. So
acting like he doesn't know who we are.
Yeah, the dollar signs lighting up in their faces and all that. So don't know if I really want them going through our finances,
knowing what is they could access to. No thanks.
Yeah.
Don't trust any of them.
Yeah. Anybody that's always got their hands in other people's pockets don't need to see what your finances are. So
yeah. Pastors and preachers are up there with politicians and people you can't trust.
I would talk to all the youth group about financial success. So, anywho, all right. Well, tonight we're going to kind of get into something here, something we've kind of dealt with here, where we end up being our own limiters. We limit our progress. We put blocks in our way because of basically some projection of past beliefs and ideologies of what this idea of a goal or success would look like and how we project that persona to be.
What we've been told we're capable of or not capable of. Yeah.
And it ends up limiting what goals we achieve. It puts roadblocks in, just stops us from pursuing some things that we really would like to do.
I mean, but it can stop you, but you can also break it at any time.
Yeah.
But I just had this conversation with my niece. We were talking about her she's got two boys. Sophie has been on the podcast before. I don't know if she ever was on the podcast or she was helping with it.
Yeah.
But she's the niece I'm closest to, and she has two little boys. And I was talking about how neat it is that she gets to raise them and let her children are going to tell her who they are, rather than the other way around is how we started raising children. We know who you are. We're going to tell you who you are. You're a sinner. Mm-hmm. You have a sin nature. And basically you're going to go into, we didn't force the kids to, but we kind of steered towards, sports because that's what we did and stuff. And music. There was music involved with some of them. So we did, as they got older, because we were just deconstructing, that they were able to kind of, like the younger two of our kids, way different than the older two in how they feel about themselves, their confidence in just being who they are. It just, there's a night and day in. And then the third, the middle, that little middle guy, he was kind of a people pleaser because he was just kind of just doing what was expected of him, and he still kind of struggles. So he's kind of coming into his personality too, but it's just like, I wish it would have happened younger, but she gets to just let them show her who she is, who they are, which I think is just such a much more lovely way of parenting.
It is. And it might prevent some of the blocks that we encounter now, where, for instance, one thing an example would be your struggle of financial success, because you've looked and seen and you associate financial success with this sort of person that is greedy. They accumulate and don't share the wealth that they get. They have the highfalutin, oh yes, darling, let's go out to the, let's have a parlor with
I just
the neighbors and
okay, I know what kind of person you're talking about. Reminds me of like a person that owns a yacht, right?
Yeah.
And I just heard this. Was it you that told me? I know. I think I heard it on something. Like a lot of the people that own all these toys, these big toys like yachts or whatever, it takes such. They buy them for the status. They hardly ever, there are groups of them that don't ever take their boats out.
Yeah.
Why? Because it takes skill to learn how to like a sailboat. That's what I'm talking about. Like sailboats, they don't take them out. It's just a status thing because it requires a skill and they don't want to take the effort to learn it, how to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to take the effort to maybe even learn how to drive a yacht. I don't know, or the maintenance and all the things that you have to like kind of pay attention to and know about. It would take knowledge. Yeah. And they can't really afford that. So we have the boat.
So
that's what I've kind of like associate wealth with is that kind of personality.
You then try to reconcile your personality with that because you think wealth equals this. So then I don't like that person.
I don't want to
be that person. I don't want to hang out with them people. So you start to limit yourself.
These are subconscious programs. Yeah.
So
and you will sabotage yourself so that you don't go there.
So then you don't start to pursue and go after and attack this goal that you
don't try the things that would get you there
because you have this protective measure inside of you saying you don't want to be that person. So don't do things to get to that person. So we're going to prevent you from doing it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're going to get into tonight. Just dealing with that aspect of life where sometimes I think a lot of people, ourselves included, are just like, why are we spinning our tires in the mud? We're doing all this effort, all this work, but we're getting no progress. We're, just that duck on water that's paddling like a motherfucker underneath the water, but doesn't look like anything's happening up top. So, or
it's like a hamster on a wheel, just spin, spin, spin. A lot of energy is getting wasted and you're not going, nothing's changing.
Yeah.
That's what with ADHD, first of all,
or
that
ADD, doesn't help.
No, that doesn't help because it's constantly looking for a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
And when you're on the hamster on the wheel, you're not getting the dopamine hit. So you're going to look for other things and you're going to bring more in without accomplishing much. You see what I'm saying? It's like you struggle to complete something to the fullest extent because it's not giving you that dopamine hit as you're going along. But a lot of it is subconscious sabotage.
Yeah. And the subconscious is using that ADHD with saying, all right, here's a squirrel over here and there's a shiny object over there and all this. And
it wants that hit.
As you're trying to focus on your progress, it knows, okay, this is the way I can protect them. Squirrel, shiny thing, Oh, this has to be done.
Oh, someone's calling. I have to answer it.
Yeah.
I did that several times today.
Yeah.
When I should have been doing other things.
Yes. But there's stuff going on. So that's what we're going to dive into. But before, we got to get Candy into the mood. We got to set the mood, and we're going to play a game.
Okay.
And this week's game is... Fill in the blank. Preacher Sermon Edition. I'm going to read a section of a sermon.
An actual sermon that was preached?
From a preacher. And you have to
fill in the
blank. And we're going to see...
We've played this before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And this is going to be something that's going to really decide what mood Candy's in tonight. By the way she answers.
I think you set this up every time like this. What kind of mood is she in? It's how she answers. Don't do that. Just let me answer. Then you can be like, okay, now we all know what kind of mood she's in. Don't take your glasses off like that.
Help.
Please.
Please.
He don't need no help. He's fine. Guys, he's fine. Dan?
Please, guys. Okay. You see what I'm dealing with here.
It's Happy Gilmore. Ben Stiller.
You're in my world.
Did she go,
now.
yeah, you're in my world now, Grandma. Did he say it, Grandma, at the end of that?
Yeah.
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 He is a funny character.
All right. We'll start off easy.
Okay.
Relatively mild. This is from Kenneth Copeland, The Victory Campaign 2019.
Okay.
If you have enough faith, you can tell your blank to disappear, and it will.
When was this done?
2019.
You can tell your cancer.
She's going for the real answers tonight.
Was that the real answer?
No, it's mortgage.
Okay. You can tell your mortgage to disappear. Oh, that's funny because my dad wrote to Kenneth Copeland and asked him to pay his mortgage to help it disappear. And I guess that didn't happen.
It stayed. Kenneth Copeland's like, no, unless there's a check attached to that. And I get the,
if I get the house,
I'll buy your house. I'll take your house from you. That's fine. But make sure you have that mortgage paid off before you give it. All right.
Okay.
This is from one of your favorites, Mark Driscoll, a Mars Hill sermon in 2008. Ladies, this is directed towards you, Candy, so I want you to listen intently because you need to learn. Ladies, your job is not to be pretty. It's to be blank for your husband.
Sexy.
Ooh, not bad. I was going to say horny.
No, he doesn't care if the woman's horny or not.
Oh, that's true. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You don't have to be.
Yeah. What is the word? What was the real thing?
A soft landing spot.
Same guy who said that vaginas are penis holders. Penis homes. And he said, God knew my penis was going to need a home, so he created my wife.
Oh, I got to find a couple of these other ones. Here we go. This is from Phil Phillips, Turmoil in the Toy Box seminar.
I don't know who Phil Phillips is.
1986.
Okay.
This is something that your parents listened to and were using as parental guides.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So all you Gen Xers, all you Gen Xers that grew up in the church, this is what your parents were listening to learn how to raise you correctly.
Along with Dobson, probably.
If your child plays with action figures, you might be opening the door to
demons, witchcraft, the devil, Satan.
Satan's training program for the Antichrist. So your little
Satan's training program for the Antichrist.
So 1986, you'd had Transformers, G.I. Joes.
Oh, I remember Transformers were considered bad.
Were they?
Yes.
Why?
I never knew why. I think because they transform into other things. I don't know, actually. They just picked random things to like hate on.
Oh, yeah. Smurfs.
Anything that we would like Smurfs. Oh, because there was like magic in it. Oops.
Nope. That's one problem I'm having.
Is this a child ready to be picked up?
No, this is my mom talking about a tomato.
Wow, she's really insistent that you talk with her about this tomato.
Well, she put it to
Is tomato code for something?
No, it's an actual tomato. You got the text message too.
I did. Oh, I have my phone on silent, Dan.
Well, sometimes mom's got to get through. So yeah, back then, everything was satanic. Smurfs, Rainbow Bright, Gem and the Holograms.
Oh, and I loved, my grandma let me watch Gem and the Holograms. My grandma let me watch Care Bears. She let me watch the Smurfs. She let me watch, what was the another one you said? You said Gem.
Gem and the Holograms.
Oh, Rainbow Bright. I loved Rainbow Bright. My grandma, she would buy me the little stuff down. She'd buy me the My Little Ponies.
Your grandma was the gateway to hell.
Yeah, I think Dad disagreed with her a lot on what she let me do, but she was just like, it's harmless stuff.
All right, next one. This is from Perry Stone, Camp Meeting, 2015. If Jesus had a car, it wouldn't run on gas. It would run on
love.
No.
Law.
No.
Rules. Sin.
The Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost. I was like, sin. Jesus' car would run on sin.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah, the Holy Ghost.
We don't need EV vehicles. We have ghost vehicles.
If you think about it, Christianity, the gas for Christianity is sin. You take away sin, you got no problem anymore.
That's true. All right. This is from your buddy, James Dobson. Focus on the Family broadcast, 1998.
Okay, this is the year before we had our first kid.
And a year after we got married.
Yeah.
Listen up, okay, Candy? This is directly for you, so you understand your role. God made women to be beautiful and men to be
strong.
Starts with an S.
Starts with an S?
Yeah.
I said, okay, it's not strong.
No.
Women to be beautiful and men to be smart. Are you joking?
Hey, he's written some good
It
books.
almost makes me want to throw up.
His latest book is really good. Face Down, Ass Up.
You could get us in trouble.
For you newer folks, that's an old poll. So it's James Dobson.
You mean Jimmy Duggar? Jimmy Bob Duggar?
Jim Bob's Raw Dogs.
Yeah. He was one of the ones
Raw
you used
Dog
to...
and Jim Bob's Raw Dogs.
Yeah, there you go. He had his thing, and then, the Face Down.
Face Down Ass. That was his latest book.
Oh, yeah.
By Jim Dobson.
Jim Dobson.
Face Down, Ass Up. So.
Or something like that, like as a joke, or would you get in trouble because it's too close to his name? What if you said Jimmy Dobson?
Jim's Dobson. Jim's Dubstep. Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know. Something's acting up here. Hopefully. Oh, no.
What?
Your mic just went offline.
I didn't touch my mic.
All right. Little technical difficulties we finally worked out. So let's continue on our game from James Dobson. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The next answer. Not the answer, but next quote is from Pat Robertson from the 700 Club, circa 2012.
Okay.
If you don't vote for the right candidate, you're basically inviting blank into your home.
The Antichrist?
Not quite.
The devil?
Demons is what we're looking for.
That sounds about right for that guy.
All right. Here we go. Jack Shop, First Baptist Church of Hammond, 2001. The problem with America today is that men have forgotten how to spank their blank.
Wives.
Monkeys.
No.
No, wives is correct.
I was like, what?
So since you unplugged your microphone and made us pause,
okay,
you have to come over for your spanking.
No.
You just wait until we get done, young lady.
No.
I'm going to have you go out back, get a switch.
No. Oh, God. I would not. I would be like, oh, I'll go get a switch. And you going to be sleeping on the couch with a sore ass tonight.
I'm going to get a switch and you're going to be my bitch. All right. John Hagee, Cornerstone Church Sermon, 2004.
Okay.
A wife who won't submit is like a car with no
brakes.
She's not submitting. We're going off the cliff, no matter what.
Car with no steering wheel.
There you go. You have no.
You could make brakes work. Like, I can't control her.
Yeah, but you have no control.
Brakes would work too.
When a woman's not submitting, there is no control.
Which shows that they need a woman to restrain her power in order to have the power they have.
Yeah.
That's because she will run the show. And they know it. And she'll probably do a way better job.
If you get this one, I'll take away the spanking.
You ain't giving me no spanking.
You
wish.
Maybe I'll give you a spanking.
No, that's your wish.
This is from Jim Baker. Jim Baker Show, 2017.
Okay.
If you tithe faithfully, God will make sure your blank never runs out.
You're
never going to get
I'm not going to get it. It's not like money or bank account or... Okay, say it again. If you tithe faithfully,
God will make sure your...
Who said this again?
Jim Bakker. Will never run out. What will never run out when you tithe faithfully?
I know he does those food things that he gives out, like that slop in the bucket. No? Your makeup?
You're in the ballpark.
I don't know. Am I?
Yeah.
Your buckets of slop will never run out? I don't know. What is it? It's something to do with...
mayonnaise.
That could go very... That's gross. That's all I gotta say. Ew.
He's got a bucket of slop for you. All right. This is John MacArthur, Johnny Max.
Okay.
Grace to You broadcast 2013. This one's going to... They're really coming after you with your submission and your needing to be spanked and submission and listening well. Yoga is the greeting of yoga is the greeting of blank with your body.
The greeting of Baal.
Baal?
That's a word in the Bible for like
the
idols or something. That's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think
Baal.
what he would have said. Like,
well, you're pretty close. A demon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what they would consider a demon. So, wow. That's why my dad hated it when I was showing him some yoga moves and I did like a downward dog. He's like, yep, there it is. Like it was like, okay.
Dobson likes the downward doggy. I'm sorry, not Dobson. Jim's Dobson. He's like, downward doggy. I do it all the time. Face down, ass up. Jim's Dobson.
Coming out in June of 2025.
It's already out
with a foreword by MacArthur. Whatever MacArthur's first name is. John MacArthur.
John. So, all right. Let's get into our topic du jour. Spend a few minutes on this here.
Okay.
So we've kind of set up the scenario where we're talking about the example where we end up limiting ourselves because our subconscious is protecting us from ideologies that we hold.
It's trying to keep you safe, and it doesn't know what that it has a idea of what it thinks because there's a belief tied to a certain thing.
Yes,
it does not want you to go there because it knows it's not safe.
Before we come to solutions, obviously we should talk about this problem, where it comes from, and a lot of it is our perception and our projection on what this might look like.
But our perception comes from somewhere else.
Yes. So in the example that we gave with the highfalutin people, pinkies up, we don't want to be like that. And that we associate that with rich people because we see it on TV, we see it in the movies, we see it in our lives, where we go out and you're like, oh, these people are well-to-do. And you feel, it's like the wedding we went to on New Year's Eve a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Some of your family was like, oh my goodness, this is...
They're flaunting their wealth. They're pushing it in our faces.
Weddings in our families, generally you could show up in a nice pair of khakis and a
polo
and just a basic dress.
Yeah.
This was, men have to have sports coats, have coats and all this. And everyone came in like, oh, okay. And it was a very nice venue and all this.
It was beautiful.
But the perception that was on there was like, oh, we're not going to fit in here. They're flaunting their wealth. They're hanging us up.
And that's key right there. The first thing you said.
Yeah.
We're not going to fit in here.
Yes.
That's what your subconscious thinks. We won't fit here.
Truth of the matter is they were some of the nicest people.
They were very sweet.
Most down-home people. Mm-hmm. People we would have hung out with probably.
Yeah. They were people, and here's the thing, I've had to think through this with the wealth because I do have this hang up here with that, especially with what's going now with who's in office and all of them. It's like they're the billionaires, and do I think anybody needs $1 billion? No, I don't. But it's probably not by accident that we see on TV rich people being a-holes.
Yeah.
Because they want to program us that way so that we think wealth and we'll just keep ourselves in the cycle of not, we don't know how most people don't know how the subconscious works. So they don't know that they're getting subliminal messages Remember how they used to accuse
Oh,
people
yeah.
with the songs of doing the subliminal? It's because they were projecting what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
putting out these images and all this stuff in church and you know,
Yeah. And church,
sitcoms and all sorts of things where they were showing those
yeah,
images.
and church is a big part of this too,
Mhm.
because so much for people like you that grew up in church, and that's what you knew until you were mid 30s.
Mhm.
This was life. These are the ideas we have. These are the programs we have. This is worldly. Don't do this. So now you have that's been really programmed deep into you. And that comes spewing itself out all the time of, oh, I can't do that. That's just not right. That's just ungodly. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Where the hell is this coming from? It's what you learned for 30 plus years of your life of, we can't do this anymore. It's not
Appropriate
proper.
for your
Yeah. So you have all that stuff programmed into you too, where your views on the world have been so manipulated and controlled and programmed by a lot of the church world that
Well, Christianity and colonization. Colonization, they go hand in hand. That capitalism, all those C's, those things are programming you. And Christianity, you can't take it away from, you can't separate it from colonization. It is what was used to colonize.
Yeah.
And then you can't separate that also from capitalism because that's how they thrive. They use capitalism. And then wasn't it always that the ministers were kind of in the middle? They were trying to keep the wealthy and they were like the middle person to kind of protect the wealthy from the working class.
I don't know.
I think in a way they were like this cushion in between the two. So they could hear, that might even be where I'm just talking out my ass here, but that might be where confession came from. Like you're going to know their secrets. You're going to know what they did. And then those priests can pass that on to political powers or, political powers. You don't think that happened? Oh, it did. Come on. The church and the state are together like this. Am I wrong?
Like this.
Like this. Like
now
that.
You turned Italian on me. I'm like this. No.
I am part Italian, thank you.
It's a spicy meatball.
It's a spicy meatball.
So I don't know anything about that. So, I mean.
You could just stop it. I don't know anything.
I guess.
You know lots of stuff.
I warned you, folks. This is what I'm dealing with tonight.
It's feisty. I'm feisty.
She's feisty. She's a spitball. But there's so much program that we have into us, and it's not necessarily an actual accurate
truth.
Representation.
A lot of times it's not,
of what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we just put these things out in front of us that, now it's a fear of change somewhat too.
Oh yeah, because change is unknown. That's
you're at a place where you're in acceptance. I like who I am, but if I start seeing success in my business, what am I going to become? Well, why do you have to become someone different? You can be the same person. You just have more resources about you.
I think one of my biggest things, and I know we're kind of dancing, like it is with my hypnotherapy. Like I struggle with marketing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to market myself, right? As an entrepreneur, you have to market. That's just, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the programming for me is not so much, there is an attachment to kind of like wealth, but we've kind of worked, me and I together, we've like worked through some of that, talking through that.
We'll get to that here in a little bit.
Okay. But then there's also, it feels hypnotherapy is where I'm kind of helping people help themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a position of like, I don't think of myself as a leader or think of myself as a teacher. It's just kind of a position that where you're not in you know what I'm saying? But you're kind of like the teacher or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's that program too. Like women can't be teachers.
Well, women are always teachers in schools.
I know, really. But they can teach kids, but not like other.
There is a perfect example of a limiting belief that's been programmed into you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know it's not true, but it's still, my subconscious is not. My conscious mind is convinced, but my subconscious hasn't been flipped.
There's so much pushback right now in our society to prevent women from being teachers.
Yeah.
They're trying to strip down any authority or any credibility of women.
And they even
and put them back in
control.
their place, because that's a challenge to the white man's authority and the white man's control of everything. Because people might hear a woman speak and be like, huh,
They make
that's different.
because we're not stupid and our brains work.
Well,
they don't
I
want us to
think,
hear these things because we'll start to piece things together.
I can't remember which one said it, but your job's to be pretty, beautiful. Mine's to be smart.
Yeah, and that thing pushed on women. That's why women feel like they lose value as they get older.
Yeah.
Because, I'm losing. Like, notice the man's thing is something you can be smart till the day you die.
Mm.
You know, but a woman's thing, it fades.
Yeah.
And they make sure that we know that it fades. You know, like our beauty is in our youth. Our beauty is in our ability to bring babies into the world and to be a mother. And then after that, but evolution says something completely different, because evolution keeps the woman around after she is no longer fertile. A man fertile all the way up, you know, because that's what he's here for, reproduce. But a woman, she has like 20, 30 more years after she goes through menopause, you know, because evolution thinks she has something to pass on. And if you don't believe in evolution and you say, no, God created the earth in 6,000 years ago in 6 days, I would say then God created it so that women live longer past their reproduction years, you know, because God sees more value in them than what these disgusting, I don't want to say men, because there's a lot of men that do value women, and, you know, there's men that care and don't think themselves superior. How they have come to that has taken inner work. There's no way, because if you grew up in America, you were taught that men are better.
Yeah.
And either your parents did a really good job of like combating that programming, or you've done some inner work and worked through some things. There's really no way around it. You had somebody who helped you become a little more self-aware there. But
So, there's so many limiters out there, and it's getting put on there because, one, the people that are in charge want to stay in charge. The people that have the wealth want to keep the wealth. They don't want challenges to it.
No.
The system does these cycles. You know, we had, when was it, early 1900s, late 1800s maybe, when the monopolies were coming out and all business was consolidated. And we're back there again. Most businesses are consolidated within, like, I think it's 5 or 6 major corporations.
Yeah, it's not very many. 10 maybe max.
Run like 90% of American business. So we're getting there again, and they don't want to give up any of that.
Why are they so greedy? They have way more than you could ever spend in your lifetime. I don't understand. See, that's hard to break that mindset of wealth then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
because that's the image you have. They hoard it up while other people starve, and they don't seem to care.
Yeah, and they don't, because they don't want to lose any of their authority, any of their power. And it's better for other people to be harmed, and do that as long as they can retain the power and control that they have.
I see that our son needs us to pick him up.
Yeah, well, he can wait for a minute.
So try to wrap this one up.
Well, we're getting there. So there's so many limiting beliefs that are out there, from the world, from our own minds, from our own programming that we're put in, and all that whatnot, that keep holding us back. They prevent us from, it's almost like we're in the ocean and we're swimming to shore, but the waves are crashing us back out. And we can't get to the shoreline because of all these limited beliefs coming in here. But we can start doing there's efforts we can make to do it. And one thing we did when we were talking about your hypnotherapy and the financial success, and you were like, I don't want to if we move up an extra tax bracket or two because my business becomes successful, I don't want to hang out with them people. And we talked through it, and we're like, you don't have to hang out. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be the pinkies up and we only drink these certain things, and this is all we ever do.
You're not going to change your personality.
We can still wear jean shorts and sports bras and hang out in the backyard.
You in a sports bra? No, thank you.
Well, you can wear whatever you want. That's what I choose to wear.
That's what I said. I said, thank you.
I'm talking about my outfit.
That's what I was saying. Did you not hear me?
I did.
Said, no, thank you.
We're on the same page.
We don't need to see that hairy chest in a bikini top.
Are you talking to your mom? Just kidding. My mom.
No. Stop
She'd
it.
be more like, anyways, floppy dicking. But it was this belief that if this happened, this was the consequence.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't the case. And just working through this process of, you don't have to change your personality. You found out who you are. You found out what you want to do. And if you experience success in that and you get some gains from it, it doesn't mean you have to become this other thing.
No.
You can still be the same person, and just you have more.
This is what hypnotherapy helps with.
Yeah. You just have more to.
Affirmations help with this.
Yeah. You have more at that time.
But you have to, none of these programs change unless you actively, consciously change them, or something. They will change sometimes over time, but it's really rare. You have to get self-aware, and you can't just get self-aware because you don't know you're not self-aware, and then you don't there's usually a catalyst that starts the self-awareness, and then the self-awareness continues. And then now I'm at this point, yes, where I have to get past the fear of success, because there's a fear, just like there's a fear of failure, there's a fear of success. They're both, fear of success is probably even more common. Mm-hmm. People don't know that's what it is. That fear of, because they have these, as long as we keep this negative view of the rich, because it's not necessarily you want your bank account full of money, of numbers. It's, we all want financial security. We want to be secure in the basic needs, but we also want to enjoy life. We want to be able to travel sometime. We want to be able to relax sometime. We want to have things that make us feel good around us. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. Yeah. But Christianity did shame a whole hell of a lot while the preachers had those things. Yeah,
they shamed it because that was money that they
could have.
They were, you're going on a vacation? Well, if you're able to go on that cruise, then you should be able to give us a little extra money. And then that guilt would be in on you. So then you'd have to figure out ways, and they, manipulate and control you on that. So that was more limited beliefs coming in. And I'm back to the financial things. What we were working through too was, look at your personality. Your personality does not have to change. You can still be the same person. Yeah. Would we get a different house or maybe a better car or something? Maybe.
Yeah, we need
we're
better
looking.
Car for sure.
And
ASAP.
We'll have one ASAP. So, but we were talking about this and just all this stuff, and just realizing that, look at how we are with what we already have. We share a lot of what we have. We're kind of like the people that had the wedding. They had good wealth, and they just wanted to share that with everybody.
And in some people's eyes, we are wealthy. I mean, we have a pool, but it's above ground. Yeah. But it's a nice pool. We've done work on our backyard. We've created a space in our circle. We have a nice backyard for events, and we use it. And you're right. We're generous with it. We're not keeping tallies of how much we spent. We're not pushing it in people's faces. We just want to share what we have. Right. I mean,
and we give that back to people we know and we love. If someone came up to us that we knew was desperate, we would try to figure out a way to help them out. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I was mentioning to you too is, who would you rather have all this money? Jeff Bezos or you? Who would you rather have a couple $1 million?
That's interesting. The people that should have it don't have it.
Yeah. The people that would share it and help others out.
Yeah. It's the same with the people that should run for office don't run for office. Yeah. Because they have an idea about politicians. And as long as we have that idea, that subconscious programming, that politicians are evil, we will continue to have evil politicians. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We think we can't trust them, so they'll continue to be not trustworthy. Yeah. When you start to believe that you can trust doctors, let's say, or let's just say politicians, then you're going to listen to what they say. Well, you don't want to blindly trust them. No. So, but if actually you have to be open that it's possible that there are some trustworthy and there's some not. And that is true. There are some trustworthy politicians, but as long as you think they're all corrupt, which is kind of
par for the course right now.
Well, no, there's some good ones and they're trying.
There's a couple.
There's a few, and there's some coming up that I think have good ideas. You know, they're just trying what they think is best for the country. If they have the country's best interest at heart, I just think what we have in office right now doesn't have they don't care about the country. They care about what they can get from the country.
Well,
what's the opposite of what JFK said? They don't ask their country what they can do for it. They ask what their country can do for them.
Yeah. And they're protecting the people that are putting them in there with all the money.
Yeah.
So it's not a representation of us at all. But yeah, it's same there. You know, the people that should be doing these things aren't. The people that should have the money don't.
It all boils down to subconscious programming, though.
But
I'm just realizing that myself.
Yeah. And it's all because we limited ourselves in this, and we prevent ourselves from, we put roadblocks and protective measures because I don't want to be that person. I see Jeff Bezos and I don't like who he is. I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I want to build a rocket ship so I can fly in space. It's not productive to anybody but him as a little joyride. Mm-hmm. It doesn't help anyone else. Instead of realizing if I had that much money, I'd be helping a lot of people. I could help a lot of people. Because I don't need $1 billion to live.
Oh, you could live.
I mean, I could live.
If you had.
I could rough it on maybe 10 million a year.
I mean, even if you had probably 2 million a year, you'd be living so wealthy above, and you'd be like, you could take, let's say you had 100 million and you put it in the bank. I bet you just off the interest alone, you could live really well for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But I just want to tell you guys something. This whole thing has been an ad for hypnotherapy. That's really what it is. Like, I mean, if we want to break these things, we need hypnotherapy. Yeah. We need things like hypnotherapy that do that. And some other ways that you can reprogram that subconscious mind are through meditation. Hypnotherapy and meditation are similar, but hypnotherapy has this focus, whereas meditation is kind of relax, open the mind to nothing, not nothing, but let's let go of the thoughts, right? Yeah. They're two different things. One's directed at a certain point. And affirmations can help with that, somatic breath work, all that kind of stuff helps. But the actual reprogram of the mindset, I would say hypnotherapy is probably the top thing that would be used by psychologists. One of the top best effective things. You got CBT and stuff, but using that in conjunction with hypnotherapy would be phenomenal. So it's just one big ad for it. So yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and that's basically kind of the solution is just dealing with, you can't control a lot of the socio-political aspect of things. You can fight against it and try to get your part of it. But the biggest part that you can control is your own mindset, your own subconscious, your own reprogramming of old thoughts and things, because that's what's probably limiting you the most right now from going out and doing anything. So if you can go into it and help reprogram, like Candy was saying, through hypnotherapy and all that, that'd be more direct, then you can eliminate some of them blocks and open up avenues for you to actually succeed in this world.
And you're seeing someone who is a hypnotherapist show you how I'm still working on me. Yeah. Like this is something I'm like, do I need to see a hypnotherapist? Because hypnotherapists need hypnotherapists to kind of work through this mindset so that I can kind of reprogram it, which takes time and effort. You got to pay attention, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't help the way you were programmed. Okay. You were programmed by your parents, your coaches, your teachers, every society, you're getting coached, church, you were getting programmed, right? All those programs download, it remembers. And then you act out of those. And the subconscious runs like 95% of your life. Yep. So until you actually consciously start to change things, which takes mindfulness, which is self-awareness, and you got to stay consistent with it, or it takes a lot of work at first. And then eventually it's running on its own. You believe that because not necessarily because you've arrived, you will emotionally arrive first, mentally and emotionally, you will arrive before you physically manifest it. And that's really what like manifestation is. It's mindset change so that your mind can direct you this different direction.
Yeah, and get you into the place. It'll help you get to where you want to go. Yeah. Because it'll eliminate a lot of the
It'll help you dream again and chase your dreams, whatever. They're going to be different now as you get older.
So yeah, that's kind of what we wanted to go over tonight. So check us out on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like, smash that subscribe. We'd appreciate that greatly. And then remember to go to dannycan.com where you can get everything that's related to us, everything that we do and all that, and all the Candy's hypnotherapy stuff, her blogs and her other podcasts that she's doing. So go to dannycan.com and get that. And then if you can find it in your hearts, give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate that greatly. Helps boost us out and gets us moving along. And if you got a minute and feel the urge, leave a little comment. That helps out too. We'd appreciate that. But that being said, just go ahead and give yourself permission. Work on yourself to give yourself permission to eliminate and clear your conscience to be the person you want to be. Because a lot of times we see these things that I think I'd like that, but my conscience won't let me do it. Or
whatever. I'm too old to try that,
yeah.
or I'm too just
it's not the
dip your toe in some things and let yourself feel what it feels like to be a beginner. Everybody should be being a beginner almost all the time at something, because being a beginner helps you get okay with failing.
Yep.
That's just part of the deal.
Of the whole thing.
If you're going to be successful, you got to fail a lot of times.
Yep.
So
yeah, just remember that. And then before we go out and chase your dreams, clear your conscience, and park your yacht wherever people you don't want in your life can't find it. Have a glorious life in Jesus' name.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.
That's how we should end everything. In Jesus' name, amen.